order of business would be to go around the table and have everybody introduce themselves so that we know who we're speaking to. So I'll start off. I'm Rick Myark. I'm president of the Pulaski County Library Board.
Teresa Bryant, board member for
Ashley Stallion, Medaryville Town Council President.
Nick Gillock, Medaryville Town Council Vice President.
Steve Faust, Medaryville Town Council.
Jim Carrillo, I'm the shiny badge of the library board.
Sandy Lucas, library board.
Carol Jo Jones, library board.
Mackenzie Levy, Pulaski County Library.
Nancy Holman, library board.
Thank you. Well, determination of quorum, we have quorum, and I'd like to, if you have a chance to look at the agenda, I'd like to have somebody make a motion to approve unless they have any changes they'd like to make.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no visitors tonight that I'm aware of. And so we'll dispense with the public comment. So we'll move on to item F. Medaryville Town Council's proposal for the property at 510 East Main Street in Medaryville. I'll ask somebody from the Medaryville Town Council to pick it up right from this point.
I will do that then, thank you. We sent over an email, and it sounds like you guys have all received that, and probably reviewed that, and maybe even discussed. We realized that there's a whole merit of things happening with the library, and more specifically with the building in Medaryville. Our hope and thought is we don't want the building sitting vacant. We would like it to be able to be used for our community, more specifically to better our community, focus on our youth, and our sense of community that we're really trying to bring back and build in Medaryville. I think part of the thought is when we see properties in Medaryville sell, resell, typically we're seeing things not work out and sit vacant. We're fighting blighted buildings pretty hard in Medaryville. We have a lot of issues with keeping people in, and so personally, I guess I won't necessarily speak for everyone, but personally, I don't want to see that happen to that building. And I think that if we could come to some sort of agreement, if you guys aren't going to put someone in that building or utilize that building or are looking to get rid of, sell, do something with that building, that it would be in the best interest for Medaryville, the municipal town of Medaryville, to have ownership of that building, to be able to develop programs within the building, hold events within the building. It would open a wide range for us and our small community that we have there, especially with its location, and the amount of space that the building has. I'm sure I'll have more to say. I have talked with those guys by far.
Well, from my perspective, I think your intent or your goals for that structure and our goals, I think, can coincide very easily. Because our feeling as a board is that we would like to see that building used for the benefit of the community of the area. And I think as we progress with this process, we can both sides rest assured that our intentions are very much in line with what yours. We want to see that building used to benefit the citizens of Medaryville. And if the town can utilize that structure for those purposes, you know, for the benefit of the youth, and other activities at the community center of some kind, that's just feelings on it. And we also, as a library, would like to participate in that process, to be able to provide services, not necessarily books and that type of thing, but we have capabilities, and I think Mackenzie can be a little more specific, but we can partner with you folks, and you can, I think we can make that 510 East Main Street a real showplace, and something that Medaryville can build on.
And then along that line, do you have, you obviously have all discussed it, so do you have just big dreams, or do you have a more specific thought of what we can make that look like?
Well, from our perspective, we obviously are not going to come up with suggestions on how Medaryville should run its operations, obviously.
Yes.
What we want to do is supplement what you guys do.
Okay.
Complement, supplement, either one of the two, to make what your goals are even better, work even better for the community.
So the Pulaski County Library System then would be interested in maybe a 6-week summer program that someone from the library could be there once a week to run a program with our youth? Like, these are just thoughts that I've had actually talked about, so things like that would create a space that wouldn't just be our fun space or our smaller events, but would actually more specifically benefit our youth. And since you're a library, when we look at what our reading scores are, what that activity looks like, keeping them out of the park during the day, and maybe doing a craft or reading together or something like that. And so I'm not necessarily asking for that commitment at this moment. I'm just wondering if that's kind of along the line of something that services that the library would partner to offer there, or
I think it's something that could be discussed. I would be hard pressed to make a commitment as far as, but
I don't think tonight was
definitely,
for
sure.
whatsoever.
No,
Yes.
it's gonna take more than just one meeting to figure
Oh,
out.
yeah,
what-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think where we need to go from here is for Medaryville to maybe make a list and start thinking about certain programs that you would like to see in that building. And perhaps from your perspective, drop some ideas on what you think the library can do to help you out. On our end, we would be able to come up with some ideas of our own on what we can do in that building that will supplement what you folks are trying to do. In other words, it's going to take a few meetings and some negotiation, but I think in the final analysis, we can work something out that's going to be satisfactory to everybody.
Do you have a core group of individuals in Medaryville who would be willing to volunteer to cover times? Because obviously, well, I say obviously, it would be very difficult for this library to staff that full-time, that kind of thing. And as Rick pointed out, a supplemental situation would be great, or even a, planning session, planning things together, so on and so forth. But, and you mentioned once a week over a 6-week period of time. Do you have other people who are willing to step in the other 4 days of the week to run the summer program?
Run the program.
I
personally have a good group that we can easily get back,
Okay.
just out of as long as it aligns with our vision and beliefs in Medaryville, which would be very family-centered always.
Yeah.
And if we're doing anything that is youth and family-centered and family wholesome things, then, I have a group that I can go to for about any of that and get it happen. So that's wonderful.
Have the three of you been through the building recently?
Not recently.
Well, I think you'll find that, it's been kept in good shape. You know, it's not gonna be something that's gonna fall down around your ears
Right.
and need a lot of things done, and there's been a fairly substantial amount of money put into the upkeep of the facility. So, hopefully you'll be pleasantly surprised when you go in there and see exactly what there is and what kind of shape everything is in.
It's been months since I've been in there.
Well, and we're cleaning it as well,
Right.
and getting rid of, it will be up and running.
I think what you need to do is to be aware and sort of cognizant of let's say the basis for how this thing came about. The Lions Club owned the land that they donated to the Lions.
They purchased it in 1996 for $120. Yeah. And then according to the commissioner's deed, the real estate value at that time was less than $2,000.
Anybody else?
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I got one over to Stacy.
No, that's okay.
So these are the documents that,
Over what we're looking at.
that spell out
Okay.
the transfer of the land to the library from the Lions Club. And,
Yeah, it's just the paper trail because there's been a lot of misinformation that's been said about who built the building, how the land was purchased, how much the land was worth. And so this is the facts, these are the facts. So if you hear anything else, now you have the facts in front of you, you can share it with people.
and of course, the transfer of the property from the library to the town will entail, usual due diligence by attorneys to get, title searches and all that stuff.
Yes. Amber would never let us build the property.
Oh, right.
Crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's.
Amber is your attorney?
Yes. She's over here on the phone.
Okay.
She's part of the meeting from the bar tonight.
And one thing that's been discussed before, but it's probably worth reiterating at the meeting is, that the board would feel that they shouldn't need to rent anything at the building if they were to use the building for any purpose because of the exchange that would be happening.
And that's, I'm glad you bring that up. So, when we're discussing of the possible transfer of this, obviously, like you mentioned, there are going to be some cost in that. Is your intent or vision to sell the building at a sell price for Medaryville, or to be able to transfer it with us?
As a donation.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
We really haven't come up with that decision yet.
Okay.
I think there's one thing that you can probably count on is that if it is a sale, the price will be, how shall I say it? I can't think of the word, but it'll be it's not gonna be significant, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
It'll be probably less than reasonable.
Okay.
Because as I said, you know, we're not out to, we don't want to make money on this thing. We want to, provide the town of Medaryville with a structure that you can use for the better of the community. And that will be compensation enough for us to see it happen.
And the acknowledgement that it's a $500,000 building, you know, that's pretty amazing. It's probably the nicest building in town. So.
Newest building.
It is.
Buildings.
I'm sorry, did you need me, Ashley?
Not
No.
yet. No. You're doing great, Amber. Yeah, and I think that would be part of our goal, if when we get to that point of actually looking at terms, and conditions and what all this would actually look like. I would personally think, and this will have to continue to be a discussion, maybe more so in a closed session with all of us, but I would hope that the library and the library board will continue to support if we asked or needed within reason, obviously. But in turn, you called up the town hall and said, hey, like, we have this going on, and we would like to see this, like, keys in the Dropbox kind of deal. Like, I personally think that that's how it should be. We're a very small county. We are even a smaller part in our small community, so I think what we've been missing in Medaryville is building that sense of community on a little bit bigger scale. Because we at Medaryville are small, and we don't always have the amount of people or the resources to do everything. So someone willing to say, hey, the building's there, we can utilize it for this, or we could hold a session for this, or whatever it turns out to be, looks like. We have a lot of ideas in Medaryville, and we've gotten to see some of those come back to life. We've gotten, our Potato Fest is rolling back through, and that's grown a little bit, and it's been a good time and exciting to see people back in town, and good for our community. Great for our sense of community. I couldn't tell you the amount of people that you just don't know that live in your little small community, or maybe not certain who they are, but when we start having those events, like we have a Christmas tree lighting coming up, and that's new to Medaryville, and I'm excited to see how having an indoor space can really grow our ability to continue to build a foundation in Medaryville for our community and for our kids. I have a lot of kids. You'll hear me talk a lot about kids because I have a lot of them. And that's really important for my kids to grow up in a safe place with the community and know the people that are around us and keep them involved in something that maybe isn't just hanging out on the streets past dark. So having clean, safe spaces to do that is a must, or we can't continue.
Yeah, it's probably, that's an asset that this county is very light. There's not too much of that. And I think together we can maybe set up something that could be an example for others.
And one feather in your cap too, to take back with you, is that of all of our programs that we've had at the library this year, the tie-dye event that we had at the Medaryville Potato Festival was our biggest event of the entire year that we've done of any library program. So I think people in Medaryville are receptive to our programs, and people made donations when they were over there. They were happy. So we do feel like we're still welcome in the community, and that we can still provide programs there. So that's a good thing.
Which also just speaks to my point that we need that. That it's critical to that.
think as far as next steps are concerned, and I think we're all on the same page as far as moving ahead with this process. Initially, my thought is rather than having the full boards meet all the time to get this thing fleshed out, maybe each board could appoint a little working group of some kind, 2 or 3 individuals that from our side and 2 or 3 from your side, and get together and start working out the details.
It may look more like one from our side. Amber, am I correct in that?
Absolutely, you just took the words right out of
Okay,
my mouth.
because
It would
we
violate.
would, yeah, that would violate for us, our forum, for us to be here and not call a meeting. So it could be one of us, but if we did 2, then it would have to be announced and notice given, and it would have to be live streamed, there would be, it's a whole show. But at least one of us, and a couple of you were
Yeah,
in rotating.
something that would not require a public
A
announcement.
big show.
Right, a board decision, nothing like that, just to hash out some details and come back to each prospective board.
Right.
And,
Yes.
A working group.
yeah.
Steve's a great worker. I've seen it. Oh, don't worry, you'll be on the phone tomorrow. Yeah, so we're showing that meeting, right? Let me know what they say.
Well, that works in my world. You
Yeah.
gonna call us?
I'm sorry.
You gonna pick one of us?
I don't think we necessarily have to pick who we're gonna do it tonight.
No,
Yeah.
right.
I think, you folks should get together, put your heads together, decide who you want to represent, the town,
Yeah.
and, we can, get together ourselves and, decide who we want to appoint to the library.
I have more time on my hands than these guys, to be fair. I can make more time on my hands than these guys. I might enroll the toddler, I can't promise that I can make anything work.
Anybody else have anything you'd like to say?
Well, I think it's a good endeavor and be pleased to see that building put to positive use and actually be used,
Right.
you know, on a consistent basis and, in that section of Medaryville.
How soon would you like to have all this done? In other words, the transfer of title from the library to the town, effective X date. We need to have a goal to work towards. If we don't have a date that we want to get this thing done by, we can spin it out forever. And, we need to put some, burden on ourselves to get this
Yes.
thing accomplished.
I don't know what kind of timeline we need to put on.
I don't know, it takes, you do some of that stuff.
Some of the stuff isn't gonna be the easiest, especially if we have to meet as boards separately and discuss things, so it could take a few months, you know what I mean? I don't wanna say a month or 2 months.
And then how long
We're
is,
looking to have a summer program, so would you, like to try and wrap up this by, say, May?
Yeah,
Is that a
so-
reasonable?
that would be-
Yeah, so
that would be
my goal is
reasonable.
we could.
If we can come to terms with everything.
April 1st, somewhere through there. And if we're working toward that, and we know what's going to happen before it happens, and that's the goal, then I can still be working behind the scenes, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Because
Anticipation for that.
yeah, I mean, it takes hands, it takes time, it takes money, it takes,
and then at some point you
can
can
tell
start,
you what all
you
it's
can
gonna
start
take.
advertising and spreading the word that it's gonna be available.
Right.
So that when the program starts, you're getting participation right away, because people will be expecting it, anticipating.
Do you think it's a place that you plan to have staff, or what are your thoughts for what the building could become?
schedule events, programming. I'm hoping Amber can look up all the walls and let me hold a youth Bible study in there. So there's, don't laugh.
It wouldn't be the town office, I guess. Is kind of what
I don't think, and I guess that would have to be a discussion.
Yeah.
It would definitely have to be a discussion. I don't anticipate that we would be moving anybody into there.
I don't think it's a bad idea, I just wondered if you had.
I don't think, right now, I don't know, but
I'd be just tossing this out there, from a criminal justice perspective, we've talked multiple times about like trying to have a day that we go over there to see like probation appointments for people that can't, like have transportation issues that can't drive to us, but the issue has always been where do we see
where do we
them?
go?
And so would that be so just tossing
Yes,
that out there.
and so I'm so glad you brought this up, because we do have some things that are going on in Medaryville that seems it's an issue. And town hall hours are an issue. So we do actually have people that come in from the court system, and we do have some drug testing that has to be done, and we allow them to use town hall for that. I really think the amount of services and things that could be going on there are nearly endless. We have a whole west side of the county. I mean, if we have a building, and I'm not certain, I won't count Francisville out, but if we have a space that's allowed to happen, it may be easier even for people a little bit south of us to make it to Medaryville versus over here. And we do utilize our town hall for different services like that already. So I think there's a whole list of things that can happen. It's just knowing that, that will be allowed to dream big.
And at what point do we get there?
Right.
So,
Did Amber have a question when she was talking to me? I didn't know she had a question.
Amber, do you have anything at this point in time?
No, I don't.
Okay.
The library had been approached by several people from Medaryville who were interested in purchasing the building from the library board. That's how a lot of this came about. I think it's probably a good idea just to be open and say the plan wouldn't be for the library board to give the town the building and then the town turn and sell it to someone in Medaryville. Because there are people in Medaryville who have expressed interest in buying it. But that's not what the plan is, right?
No.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea for you folks haven't been in the building recently to take a look at it.
Yes. I would like to walk
We
through,
would
I would
love
look
to.
look at some things in there.
All dream, and these men will find the.
They'll
Yeah.
be back in.
Once we have it ready, we will definitely give you a call over
Absolutely.
something.
Absolutely. And if we transfer the building, your plan and goal would be to have your books, all of that would be out, or no, it would be
There's no
there.
plan, there's no plan for books.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to clarify.
We have-
It came up in the conversation, so I thought
We
I'd
have
have.
requirements we have to meet and things of that nature.
But you know, electronically with the library card, you can check out.
You can get
book.
it.
You can get, yeah, you can do it electronically, and that's, you know, you're not restricted to the books that are there. You can get anything checked out, and I think that's gonna be the key to serve that area, is the fact that with the electronic checkout that you can do, the kids can check anything out, especially if as part of the building there was maybe some iPads or Kindles that could be
Utilized.
utilized.
I think our team will be very creative and try to come up with ideas. They've talked about having book lockers where people can request books from here, and then they would be delivered there. They would be available in a locker. You put a code in, and you can get the books out. So that's a system that's used in other libraries. So I think they'll be creative in coming up with ideas, but as far as an actual physical collection,
So I guess, you folks want to tour the building, get in touch with Mackenzie, and we can, sort of,
What's the name of it?
Or call Stacy and let her know.
Because we have a cleaning company that's coming to clean the floors and maybe some other items of furniture that they take out, so.
I think you're right.
so actually you'd be the point person, you'd be the contact person to,
That's fine with me.
I always like to throw it down just in case, but like I said, they both work full-time jobs.
sure.
Maybe more so, sometimes two jobs, and I'm usually at home with the kids, so more available to you all.
I guess, I can't think of anything else to, bring up at this point.
Because you can be in contact for the building and maybe breaking into a smaller group and go with all that.
Mhm.
I'll look out for contact.
I don't know if we need to make a motion to let her do the, when we do all the.
Amber, are you hearing Steve's question?
We discussed it.
I did not hear
Next
it.
week.
He is curious if we need to make a motion for me to be able to be the point guard here.
No, I don't